Hi, my name is Debbie Pendergrast. I'm Business Development Manager here at Keencut, and I'm going to take you through today's session. Now, today's session is going to be covering how simple the Keencut Simplex is to use and its versatility. Now, I'm not sure how much you know about our Keencut Simplex, but it really is an absolutely great machine. It's above a safety knife and a straight edge, so it gives you the security and the safe environment to be able to work in a safe space and to not have any issues when it comes to things like potential slippage with a knife, where you can do damage to yourself and hurt yourself. So the Simplex is a very simple machine. I'm going to be using this particular size of model today in this demonstration. I used these sizes here. They're about 70 centimeters in length. We start our cutter bars at 1.10 meters, but this size just enables you to see the whole variety and functions and features of the actual Keencut Simplex itself, whilst also being short enough for me to store here in my studio, because I do have quite a few cutter bars. It's a really lightweight machine, and its versatility is almost second to none. It's simple to use, it's accurate straight out of the box, so you can use it straight as soon as you get it. All you need to do is actually insert the blade, and it takes little to no training at all. You just really need to know how to make it work. It can cut a variety of materials, so you can cut all sorts of things from foam board to foam centered board to banner type materials, papers, foils, and it even has a textile wheel for cutting delicate materials like fabrics, textiles, foils and papers. So this is the machine itself. This is our Simplex. As you can see, it's very lightweight. Now, it's designed to be very robust. You can use it on site in your workshop, you can put it to one side when you have actually finished with it, or you can throw it in the back of a van and you can take it on site somewhere and use it on site. It's a great machine, really handy to have around. As I said, very lightweight. It has one cutting feature. It takes one type of blade, so it will cut only in one direction. It's effectively a safety straight edge knife and the cutter bar itself all incorporated into one machine. The line of sight as you cut sight, its accuracy is 1 millimeter over the whole length of the cut. So we do the Simplex in 5 different sizes. We start, as I said, at 1.10 meters, which is this big, and we go up in 50 centimeter increments to 3.10 meters, so 110, 150, 210, 260, and 310 is the largest machine we do. It takes one type of blade, so it takes this particular type of blade, which is a medium duty blade. The head itself is spring loaded for a safety feature. When you push down, this is a rocker style head, so when you push down on the rocker style head, you engage the blade at the bottom, and when you have finished cutting, you just release the head and it will spring back into position as a safety feature. The blade itself is really easy to insert, so I'll just take you over exactly how to do that. It comes in here. This is your medium duty blade. It needs to be inserted this way round. You insert it here, just slide it into position, push it down, and you can see that the blade protrudes here. So once it's in place at the bottom, you can tighten it up with the screw, with the thumb screw. Once it's tightened, it's good to go. This is the blade depth adjuster. So normally, rule of thumb is that you will adjust the blade depth to cut just through the depth of material that you are cutting. So you don't want it to be too deep and you don't want it to be shallow, otherwise you're going to be scoring rather than actually cutting through. When you're cutting fine material, you can have it as shallow as you possibly can, but when you're cutting deeper material, if you just have the blade depth enough to go through the material itself, It causes the blade to be more stable, so it doesn't give you any wobble effect because you don't have too much blade protruding. You're just using the actual tip of the blade itself, so you've got stability that way. In order to adjust the blade depth, you would need to unscrew the thumb screw, and then you can adjust the depth with this screw here. So as you can see, this is going up and now it's going down. So once you are happy with the depth of the blade that you have, again you tighten up the thumb screw and your cutter bar is good to go. Once you push down on the rocker head, the blade is engaged, and because the blade is engaged and it is a portable machine, this means that you absolutely have to have a cutting mat underneath your machine, otherwise you are cutting whatever is underneath the cutting bar itself. So if you place this on the floor or you place it on your tabletop and you don't have a cutting mat underneath it, you're going to be cutting your floor or your table or your tabletop or whatever surface it happens to be on top of. So it's really, really imperative you have a cutting mat underneath your Simplex. The function of the head itself, it's on plastic bearings, so it goes up and down the slideway. You can have either a push function, so engage the cutting blade and push the blade away from you if you're cutting something like robust materials and you need to have a bit of a more push behind it, or you can use the cutter bar and have the cutting head coming towards you. So you push down and you bring the cutting head towards yourself. Now, line of sight, line of cut, you just line up the cutter bar on the material itself. As I've said, you get 1mm precision over the whole length of the cut, and you don't need anything special to learn how to do that. We have a continuous cut ability on the Simplex, so that means that you can actually cut materials that are longer than the cutter bar itself, because you just need to lift it up and keep moving it along, and then you have a continuous cut. So it is a really, really versatile machine. It cuts a range of fabrics from mount board, banner, paper, foam centered board, and also up to 6mm of foam board. The Keencut Simplex is also versatile enough to cut things like textiles, fabrics, foils, really delicate materials, as I've previously mentioned. So in order to do that, you need the very little known about textile wheel. Now, if you're actually cutting textile on a regular basis, this probably is not the machine for you. You probably need something a little bit more robust, like the Evolution 3 series of cutter bars that we have. So if you are cutting fabrics on a regular basis and not very, very frequently, this little accessory and add-on is perfect for the Simplex. It actually fits here, but before you install it, you need to disengage your medium duty blade. So you need to unscrew the thumb screw there, give the blade ejector a little bit of push so you can see the end of the blade, and just slide out your medium duty blade. Once you have taken that out, then you unscrew this part here, install the cutting wheel so that it fits the form of the cutting head and fits nicely this shape here, and reinstall the black screw, and then you're good to go. So once it's engaged, it's pushed down and the rotary reel goes along the material. Now, the rotary reel has a guard on it, a red guard. You simply just push the red guard down so you expose the fabric wheel there. Then all you need to do is take your material that you're going to be cutting, lay it flat on the surface, align the cutter bar up, engage your cutting wheel and simply slide it along. So that is the Simplex and its versatility in what it can cut. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this session and it's explained to you a little bit more about our Keencut Simplex. I hope you'll join me in another 2 weeks where we're going to be showcasing how to change the bearings on our cutter bars, on the vertical action heads and also on the Simplex itself. You can also find us on our social media accounts. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and all of our videos are actually housed on our Keencut YouTube channel. So subscribe to the Keencut YouTube channel. You will be informed of every time we bring out a new video and explain something about some of our products and our cutter bars and how to do things. So I really hope you've enjoyed the session. Thank you very much for your company today. Have a great day wherever you are. Many thanks. Bye bye.